actually get to ride a banshee. I think it's spelled banshee. Banshee. I don't know. Hey guys, what's up? It's Disneyland Banana. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below to follow me along on all of my Disney and college adventures. So today's video is video number 4 out of 8 of my top 5 must-do attractions at the Disney Parks series. I cannot believe I'm already halfway done with these. Today's video is going to be about Disney's Animal Kingdom in Walt Disney World. I've already done my top 5 must-do attractions for Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and Hollywood Studios, which I will put a little card, and I will link them down in the description below to that playlist. And then upcoming, I have Disneyland, Disney California Adventure, Disneyland Paris, and Walt Disney Studios Park in Paris. Just like in the other videos, I am going to start this with a brief history of Disney's Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom opened to the public on April 22nd, 1998. It was the 4th and final theme park to open at Walt Disney World. It is absolutely massive. Like, seriously, like, you can get lost walking around Animal Kingdom so easily. There are a bunch of different lands in Animal Kingdom. There is Discovery Island, Dino Land, Asia, Africa, and Pandora. I think that's all of them. Disney's Animal Kingdom's main focus, as you can probably tell by its name, is animals. It's all about conservation of animals and keeping our endangered animals from going extinct. They have all sorts of different animals that are like on, I don't want to say on display, but like they're on display for you to see. There's all sorts of different trails that you can walk through and see tigers and monkeys and hippos and gorillas. It's awesome. They also have a ton of super cool attractions and shows at Animal Kingdom, and I will be obviously featuring the attractions today. Animal Kingdom is super well themed. It's absolutely beautiful. Everywhere you go, you really feel like you are in Africa, or you really feel like you're in Asia, or you really feel like you're at the county fair. It's just so awesome to walk around in Animal Kingdom, and everything about it is just so beautiful. Anyway, let's get started on my top 5 must-do attractions at Disney's Animal Kingdom. At number 5, I have chosen Dinosaur. Dinosaur is located in Dino Land at Animal Kingdom. It opened with the park on April 22nd, 1998 as Countdown to Extinction, but the name was changed in 2000 to help promote the new movie called Dinosaur, which absolutely flopped at the box office. Dinosaur is a pretty unique attraction. It features these like Jeep-looking vehicles that you sit in, and they are also a motion simulator. So as you are driving along through the track, your vehicle is also like moving back and forth, so it makes it feel like you're on this really rough and rugged terrain, and that you're going uphill and you're going downhill, and you feel like you're gonna fly out of your seat. It's pretty thrilling, especially when the vehicle kind of like tilts and you're like sitting on the edge and you really feel like you're about to fly out of your seat. It's kind of fun. You go into the pre-show room, and the pre-show is really noticeably outdated. Disney World fans love this pre-show because it's like, I don't know, nostalgic for them. I, you know, didn't start going to Disney World till I was 18, so I don't really have that nostalgia attached to it. I think it's outdated. I think it's kind of dumb. The pre-show explains that at the Dino Institute, they have come up with the technology of time traveling in the Time Rover. They explain that we're gonna go back to like the beginning of time. We'll get to see the cool dinosaurs. It's gonna be a super smooth trip, no big deal. Then of course, Dr. Seeker comes in and is like, actually, I have a better idea. We're gonna go back in time and save the iguanodon, this dinosaur, from becoming extinct. Once you're on board the Jeep, you get to go inside of this ride and you time travel back to the dinosaur age. Again, I don't know what they're called. So your Jeep goes along this whole thing, you see all the dinosaurs, you feel like you're rolling over rocks and that you're gonna fly out of your car. Towards the end, they have this big, I think it's a T-Rex, I don't really know, but he's supposed to be like jumps out and is supposed to try and scare you. As they do that, they take your picture. As you can tell by this picture of me and my family, it's not really that scary. It's more like, huh? I heard from a lot of people before I went to Disney World for the first time that Dinosaur was really scary. Some people in particular that I know, Kylie, say the dinosaur is really scary. I don't find it scary, but I'm sure for like younger kids, it would definitely be scary. I just kind of wrote it as a teenager and was like, this is kind of lame compared to Indiana Jones over at Disneyland. If you've ever been to Disneyland, you know that ride is great. So Dinosaur is still like good, but it's not like the best ride I've ever been on personally. So that's why I put it at number 5. Like, you should still definitely do it if it's your first time at Disney World, but it's not like the best attraction ever, especially when you compare it to the other version of it somewhere else. Taking the number 4 spot on my list is Kali River Rapids. The Kali River Rapids opened in 1999 and it's located in the Asia section of Animal Kingdom. Kali River Rapids is a water ride and you sit in this like raft boat thing. I think it seats like 12 people. It's one of those rides where you can't just like sit in the back and hope that you're not gonna get wet. Like you will get wet, you will probably get soaked. Like every time I go on Kali River Rapids, I get absolutely soaked. Kali River Rapids, when it begins, you go up this big lift hill, you go float along this river and you'll see all these like falling down trees and things on fire. It's all about deforestation and how we need to stop it because look at how horrible our environment looks when we do it, and you are on this expedition to try and stop them. You go down one drop, you go through some rapids, you can get totally soaked, there's a waterfall that you can go underneath. At the very end of the ride there are these like water cannons that people can like press and get you completely soaked, which is not fun because you're like, yes, the ride's over, and then you can get completely drenched just by somebody deciding to push a button and make you drenched. But on the other hand, when you're off the ride and it's your turn and you get to press the button, it's actually hilarious when you press it and then somebody gets completely drenched because of you. I love Kali River Rapids because it's perfect on a hot Florida summer day to cool off on. Kali River Rapids always seems to have a long wait on hot days because it's the only water ride in Animal Kingdom, but there are fast passes usually available for it, so I highly recommend that. It's a must-do to cool off on those crazy hot days, and it's also really fun. At number 3 on my list of must-do attractions at Animal Kingdom is Kilimanjaro Safaris. Kilimanjaro Safaris opened with Animal Kingdom on April 22nd, 1998. When the park opened, Kilimanjaro Safaris was kind of like the top attraction at the park. It was what the park was known for. It's still kind of what the park is known for. It is an actual safari that we get to go on with real life animals. So cool. So you sit in this Jeep. It's an actual Jeep, not like Dinosaur where they're fake Jeeps. It's a real Jeep. There's a real driver. They will take you on and talk you through this entire safari. So you go through and you get to see rhinos, you get to see cheetahs, there are crocodiles, there are zebras, giraffes, lions, antelope, gazelle, flamingos. You definitely get to see flamingos and elephants, all sorts of super cool animals. I'm definitely forgetting some, but those are like the big like main attraction ones. I love Kilimanjaro Safaris because I just love animals, so getting to go on this ride and seeing all the different animals all around you and being so close to them is amazing. A super cool part of Kilimanjaro Safaris is sometimes the animals will actually come out onto the road and it's like the show must go on. Like it's like live entertainment, but even better because like the animals will literally stop in front of the Jeeps and then you can't move. Like Gabby and I rode it one time and there were rhinos like on all sides of us of our vehicle and we were like, oh my god, this is it, this is where we die, like we're gonna get rammed into by a rhinoceros. What the heck? It's so cool. And you also get to hear all sorts of really cool fun facts about all the different kinds of animals that live on the Kilimanjaro Safaris, and you get really up close and personal with each and every one of them. My first time to Disney World, nobody really like hyped this ride up, so my family and I didn't do it because we didn't know what it was, and that's like one of my biggest regrets about my day that I spent at Animal Kingdom is that we didn't do the safari. So I highly recommend it if it's your first time, if it's your second time, if it's your 30th time. Go on the safari. It's really fun, it's super informative, and it's amazing to get to see all of those beautiful animals. Number 2 on my list is Expedition Everest. Expedition Everest opened in 2006 and it is located in the Asia section of Animal Kingdom. Expedition Everest is a roller coaster. It is one of the most thrilling roller coasters I have ever been on. It is themed to Mount Everest and a legend of a Yeti. So when you board Expedition Everest, you start going forwards in your roller coaster vehicle. You get to see some beautiful Himalayan artwork and you get incredible views of not only Animal Kingdom but all of Disney World. And you're going along, having this smooth little journey, and then you pull up and suddenly the tracks are broken. It's kind of scary because you're up really high. You feel like you're gonna keep going forward, but you stop, you always stop. And then all of a sudden you hear like this click and your train starts rolling backwards. And then you go backwards through this whole inside part where it's completely pitch black, you can't see anything. It is the scariest roller coaster at Disney World. It feels like you go upside down backwards. You don't, but it feels like you do. Once you're done with the backwards craziness, you stop, you see a projection of the Yeti ripping up more track. Oh, that's the guy who ripped up the track in the beginning, huh? Then you go forward again, you go down this really big drop, you go through all these different winding turns and stuff, you go back into the cave, and then you see the star of the attraction himself, Disco Yeti. You see Disco Yeti for maybe like 2 seconds, and then the ride is over. It feels really short, I think, because it all just happens so fast. You get off of Expedition Everest feeling like Oh my gosh, I don't really know what just happened to me, but I need to do it again and again and again and again because it was so awesome. If you hadn't noticed, I called the main character of this ride Disco Yeti. He is called Disco Yeti because he's an animatronic of the Yeti that I talked about. He doesn't work. When the ride opened, he was supposed to be like the most advanced animatronic Disney had ever made, and he like moved towards guests and he actually reached out to them. But the effect unfortunately had to be turned off because they noticed that when he was moving, he was actually forming cracks in the foundation of the ride, which is not good. We don't want the mountain to come collapsing down on anybody. So they turned off the Disco Yeti effect. He's moved now by strobe lights and fans. So he kind of looks like Disco Ball, like, I don't know. He was given the name Disco Yeti, so that's his name now. Expedition Everest is probably my favorite ride at Animal Kingdom. I absolutely love how fast you go. I love that you go backwards on it. What other roller coaster do you go backwards and forwards on? It's awesome. And the theming is just beautiful. It gives you great views of the parks. Highly, highly recommend Expedition Everest. If you like roller coasters, it is really, really thrilling. Number one on my list should not come as a surprise to anyone who's heard anything about Animal Kingdom. It's going to be Avatar Flight of Passage. Avatar Flight of Passage opened in 2017 along with Pandora, the World of Avatar, the newest land at Animal Kingdom. It is themed to the 2009 movie Avatar, which won a bunch of awards. I've seen it once and I fell asleep halfway through. I was really bored. It's with all the blue people, you know, you would know it if you saw it. Flight of Passage is a motion simulator ride. It is super high tech and cool. It uses 3D as well as Sense, and it also has the most lifelike ride vehicles you could ever imagine. So when you walk up to Flight of Passage, it is surrounded by these beautiful floating mountains. It's just incredibly themed. There are waterfalls off in the distance. It's just absolutely beautiful. And you walk inside and you see these great caves with all these drawings all over them. And then you walk into a bioluminescent forest, which is super cool, and your teeth glow. I'll insert that picture of me here. I'll just embarrass myself. Cool. Then you enter into this like laboratory and you actually get to see like one of the avatars in his little tube, which I know is wrong, so sorry, Avatar fans. Then you go into the pre-show room and you find out that you are going to actually get to ride a banshee. I think it's spelled banshee. I don't know. Full disclaimer, I have only been on this ride twice because it makes me really motion sick, but it's awesome enough that I really want to do it even though it makes me sick, so I don't really remember all the details like I do with the other rides, so I'm gonna try my best here. The pre-show features, I don't know what his name is, and Fly. The pre-show explains that we as humans are now going to be paired with an avatar. That avatar is going to let us go into the world of Pandora, and we will actually get to be riding a banshee. I think a banshee is kind of like a dragon. When you enter into the room itself where you will ride the ride, you straddle a seat that kind of looks like a motorcycle, and then the ride begins and you can actually feel your banshee breathing. It is so weird. It's so weird, but so cool. You're literally like the motorcycle thing that you're sitting on, it like moves between your legs, so it literally feels like a banshee. You get to fly through Pandora, you get to see all the beauty that is there. You really feel like you're in the ride. It is so immersive and incredible. Highly, highly recommend. Like I said, I get really motion sick, especially on simulator rides, but I gave this one a chance. I did get pretty sick the first time I rode it. It was worth it to me to do it again. All I'm saying is that despite the fact that I get sick on this ride, I still want to do it. It's still my #1 must do, so that's how you know it's good, is that even though it makes me feel horrible afterwards, it is so worth it. The only downside to Flight of Passage is that it is super, super popular. It is the most popular ride in the entire park. Probably the most popular ride in all of Disney World other than Rise of the Resistance. There was always a huge wait for it. I've seen standby up to like 4 hours long, which is kind of ridiculous. That's like half of your day standing in line for one ride. I would say on average it's probably about 2-hour wait. It's so worth it. If you've never been before, you have to do Avatar Flight of Passage. And just like the last few videos, I want to give some honorable mentions. So Navi River Journey is the other attraction in Pandora. It is a boat ride through the like bioluminescent forest. It's absolutely beautiful. The scenery is just breathtaking. There's an incredible animatronic in there. of, I don't know her name and I feel really bad, but she's awesome. The ride is really short and there's not really anything to it. You just kind of sit there. I feel like I have to mention It's Tough to Be a Bug. It's Tough to Be a Bug is one of my favorite shows at Walt Disney World. It's a 3D show about A Bug's Life, which is a Pixar movie, which I grew up watching, and then I also grew up going to the show at California Adventure. It absolutely terrified me and ruined me for all other 3D shows until I got to be like an adult, and now I love it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, shoot me a comment and tell me your must-do attractions at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Check out all the links down below and I will see you guys real soon. Bye!